Hey guys, welcome to the Command Center. This is a portion of the Command Center called the Cardiovascular Training Template in History. For this template, I have set up the default mode is 3 sessions per week. 40 minutes will be spent in actual training, so that excludes warm-up and cool-down. 11% of that time will be spent doing movement, 33% doing anaerobic, and 56% will be spent doing aerobic work. Again, there's a lot of variables that I wasn't sure about, so I didn't know how many sessions per week each of you would have. I didn't know the amount of time that you would have in your actual sessions, and I wasn't sure which phases you were in and how much time you wanted to spend doing each. So I've just created a very broad template, just given some of my experiences. I would generally want to stick with this template if I were you, but everyone has their different circumstances. Okay, so aside from my template, once you get started, if in weeks 1 through 6, let's pretend that you have a training camp. Okay, so you have a training camp and you can see your athletes 5 times a week. All right, and in those 5 times a week, you get to spend 80 minutes doing your training. So that's without your warm-up and cool-down. You have 80 minutes of actual time with your athletes. We want to, again, we're just creating a scenario just to show you how this works. We want to spend a lot more of our time doing aerobic conditioning. So let's say, as an example, we want to spend 75% of our time doing aerobic conditioning. We want to spend 20% of our time doing anaerobic conditioning, and we only want to spend 5% of our time doing our movement training, so our highly explosive stuff. Okay, and when you look down here at the bottom, it'll, this code at the bottom is for cardiovascular training. 5 sessions per week. This is your first session. So 2nd session, 3rd session, 4th, and 5th session. So in that first session, we'll be spending, and out of our 80 minutes, we'll be spending 16 minutes doing our movement training. We'll spend 64 minutes doing anaerobic training, and that'll be the entire time. That's our 80 minutes. Okay. In session 2, you'll be spending most of your time doing aerobic work. Session 3, you'll go back to doing more of your explosive and anaerobic work. Session 4, you'll spend all of it doing your aerobic work. And then session 5 will be a mixture of these two based on the percentages that you've entered in. If we now change the time, let's say you have 110 minutes, so close to 2 hours, again, giving your cool down and warm up, and your percentages stay the same, you'll see how the time has changed in order to suit your needs, in order to fill up that time. Okay, so now let's say weeks 7 through 12, we go from having 5 sessions a week, we go down to 3 sessions a week, and now we only have 80 minutes with our athletes. And we're getting closer into the season, so we want to increase the amount of time we're spending doing anaerobic work. Let's go for a big jump. We want to spend 45% doing that, which leaves us with, and I've never been very good at math, so I made these all very nicely color-coded for you. Okay, so now we know we have 55% left of our time. We want to spend 30% of that time doing aerobic work. Just to still build that base, we see that we have 25% left, so you just enter in 25. This guy goes to green. Okay, that's what's up there. Down here, your plan has now been altered so that the first day you'll be spending 80 minutes so you'll be spending 100% of your time doing your aerobic work. In session 2, you'll be spending your time doing anaerobic and aerobic work, portioned out due to your percentages that you have in there. And in session 3, you'll be hitting all 3 energy systems in this order based on your percentages. Now this section down here will change relative to the last filled in section up here. Okay, So you will still be able to keep a history of how you spent your time, how many sessions you were able to have with each within each energy system. And if you are diligent enough, you can add in some notes here and there about how you did. We'll get to performance testing in another video, but I think if you add in your performance testing and you compare it to how you spent your time on your templates, you'll be able to see what's working and what is not working. And that's pretty much all it. We go into another week. So let's pretend we're into weeks 13 through 18, and nothing has changed. So we want to stick with 3 sessions a week, 80 minutes per session. But now we want to spend maybe more time doing our movement training. Maybe we're getting closer to competition, who knows? And we want to spend 40% of our time there. I think that's a bit much, but we're working here. 40% of our time there. We're going to spend 30% of our time there. And then again, not good with math, so I look over here and it says 30, so I know that we have 30% left. And again, the template down here will change. It'll let us know what's going on down here. It'll help guide us as we plan our training sessions based on the amount of time we have. If it starts raining, or let's say the head coach or whomever decides they want to spend a little bit more time doing any other thing, then you can just change this. Let's say now we only get 30 minutes of actual time with our athletes, and then the template will adjust based on your percentages to how to spend that time training your athletes. So that's it. It's real simple. I hope you guys find this really helpful, and I can't, obviously not everybody can win, but I hope you guys do really, really well. Have a good day. See you in the next video.